the Ferrari Roma, the newest entry-level model in the brand's lineup and the most un-Ferrari looking Ferrari of all time. Prices start at 942,900 dirhams in the UAE, and since we've managed to get the keys for one, let's jump right in and see what you get for that kind of money. Now, first things first, what is the Ferrari Roma? It is the latest coupe to come out of Maranello, and let me be clear, it isn't your weekend track weapon. It replaces cars like the California, California T and Portofino before it as the brand's entry-level model, and so it is more of a cruiser. What that means is that it is the most sophisticated and dignified of modern Ferraris. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it has a lot of cool technology, and it cares about things like fuel economy, words you probably didn't expect to hear in a Ferrari review. In terms of power, the Roma puts out 610 horsepower and 760 Newton meters of torque from a 3.9-litre twin-turbocharged V8. All of that power is pushed through an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, and that means the Roma can hit 100 kilometers per hour in 3.4 seconds, 200 kilometers per hour in 9.3 seconds, and a top speed of 320 kilometers per hour. So it definitely isn't slow, but what does the Roma actually feel like to drive? Well, for starters, the steering is insanely precise. The smallest of adjustments send it darting into another direction. The suspension is tuned brilliantly, making the Roma feel very light, agile and nimble, and it is undoubtedly the most comfortable Ferrari I have ever driven. On the whole then, the Roma is a car that will change your perception about Ferrari. It is a car that pushes the brand into a new era with technologies like adaptive cruise control and plenty of screens. And although the Roma might not be as brutal as other Ferraris to drive, it is definitely just as special. On the inside, the Roma is very, very different to any other Ferrari on sale, and that is because the cabin has been divided into two separate cells, one for the driver and one for the passenger. In front of the driver sits a new steering wheel with haptic feedback buttons, a new 16-inch digital instrument cluster display, and what divides both cells is an all-new 8.4-inch infotainment screen and an extremely unique gear selector. As you would expect, there are very few physical buttons or switches around the cabin, and that is because everything has been made into a screen. Mirror adjustment controls, that's a screen. Headlight controls, that's a screen. Engine starter button, that's also a screen. And speaking of screens, it's worth highlighting that the passenger gets their own little screen as well. Although the Roma is claimed to be a 4-seater, I'm not sure you'd find anyone willing to sit in the back seats. They are really tight, and that says a lot when it's coming from someone as short as me. What truly puzzles me, however, is why Ferrari has built a 4-seater car with just one cup holder. Perhaps it's so that those in the back can play a game of rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets to keep their drink in that one cup holder. When it comes to the styling, you're either going to love it or hate it. There really is no middle ground, and that's completely understandable since the Roma doesn't look like any other Ferrari out there. In fact, from some angles, it does bear resemblance to an Aston Martin. From other angles, it bears resemblance to a Jaguar F-Type. But other Ferraris? No, that it doesn't bear resemblance to. The strange styling continues in the back with the brand's signature round tail lamps being replaced by these horizontal strips. There is a spoiler that gets integrated into the rear glass and 4 beautiful exhaust pipes. And it is also worth noting that while the Roma does get 20-inch alloys all around, it does have a staggered tire setup, meaning the tires in the back are wider than those in the front for a more pronounced and aggressive stance. Since this is a GT car, a car that Ferrari wants you to cover long distances in, I shall show you the boot. which at just 272 litres is small by all means. But what I don't quite understand is why it hasn't got any lip to it. Meaning, if you were to park on a slope, there is a very good chance that anything and everything you have stored inside possibly could and will come rolling out. Bellissimo! Ferrari's entry-level models have never been particularly well received. They've always had a negative connotation attached to them, and that is something the Roma is out to change. At 942,900 dirhams, the Roma is the brand's most technologically advanced model to date. And although its styling may not be everyone's cup of tea, it's still a true Ferrari in every other way. Thanks for watching, and do let me know what you think about the Roma in the comments down below.